All right, good day. Welcome to Free Satellite TV. I'm Robbie Strike. I'm going to talk to you today about this OCTAGON SF8008 4K Ultra HD E2 Twin DVB-S2X satellite receiver. Loaded with features. Quad-core 64-bit processor, flash 8GB eMMC. It has RAM 1GB DDR4, gigabyte LAN Ethernet. You can plug this into your Ethernet, Wi-Fi, two antennas, 4 satellites, 7-segment display. 7-segment display. That's a neat feature. Twin DVB tuner. So I have several of these receivers with dual tuners. I actually don't plug in 2 wires into the house from the satellite, but if you really want to have an elaborate satellite setup, you can do that with this. There's a micro SD slot. So the operating system on this is the Enigma 2 Linux OS. A lot of satellite receivers have the ability to watch multiple channels on the same transponder at the same time. Picture-in-picture HD and Ultra HD blind-in-blind. I don't know what they mean by that. We'll find out. HDR 10-bit and HDR. It has a blind scan. Oh, okay. Some of the words here, because it has the Dutch German language translation. Has a media player, stacker, FFmpeg, HW playback support, 2160p media playback with H.264. HEVC. I imagine the thing is HEVC. OTA updates, PBR, and 0.5. Now this is from Europe. It's designed in Germany. It runs a Linux kernel. So there's a picture of Tux on the box. Tux, the Linux penguin, which is the Linux mascot. So as I say, this is a 4K satellite TV receiver for free satellite TV, also known as free to air. But on my channel, I've always used the term free satellite TV. All right. So first you're gonna see is the HDMI cable, which is probably good because I've had, if it's a 4K receiver, at least this will be a 4K capable HDMI cable. So here's the actual satellite receiver box. So the back ports, I'll get a close up of this. The back ports have your LMB in and your 2 LMB ins, your digital audio output. You have an AV output and an RG242, an HDMI, an Ethernet, USB, an SD card slot, a micro SD card slot, the power light, and there's a little switch here too. There also is a CA card, which is used mostly in Europe, and a USB 3.0. I believe this is a USB. Oh, and it doesn't say. Okay. So it does have USB 3 on the side. I'm not sure. It doesn't say that if it's USB 3 on the back. But if you're going to connect a like a hard drive, a portable hard drive or storage device, you can plug it into these. Typically, in most satellite receivers that were built within the last 10 years, and it usually is a PVR as well. Just so you know, like it will be a personal video recorder. Metal case, I like that. It's not like a plasticky case, made out of metal, so good quality. And then small, it's not like a huge satellite receiver. And here's the OCTAGON remote, typical satellite TV remote for free satellite TV. Manual. Yeah, they got English. This was generously given to me by Volker, who runs a YouTube channel called Weekbit. And his channel, I encourage you to go check him out. He's gone through some of the free European channels and has done some great content. If you're in Europe, check him out because he's gone through all the KU band stuff that he's able to pick up out of his house. They get a lot more channels in Europe than we do here in North America. Oh yeah, and here is the power supply and the comes with a couple batteries for the remote. Now the power supply, because this came from Europe, this is designed in Europe. It has a European outlet. You can just get online. It's like $1, just like a little adapter for the North American adapter. It'll work fine. It's just the way the plugs are in Europe and in Canada. So get those online. And Well, anyway, so first thing you're going to want to do is, I'm not sure if I'm going to have the same problem, but with 4K satellite receivers, I found when they start up the first time, they sometimes boot up into 4K mode, and if you're using an older TV, it's going to say not supported. So what I'm going to typically do first is plug this into my 4K TV. I have like a bunch of TVs, but I only have one 4K TV, and then just make sure I get the IP address and the what's the other thing I need? I'm just gonna put the resolution to 1080p so I can capture it with my video capture device and all that for the sake of this video, because I can't really capture 4K video, and it doesn't really matter. It's just the on-screen display stuff for the setup that I'd like to go through. You go to your menu button. It'll bring up your SNR and your quality while watching TV. So first thing you want to do is to actually set up your satellite. You want to go to Setup and go into your reception. So this is after you've connected up your satellite dish, you got it aimed and all that. You should be able to go to your tuner configuration. I do have it on a dissect switch, so I have it on LMB2, which will be on port B. I do have it set to universal with a standard KU band LMB. And the reason for that, there is a bug in this OpenATV for standard LMBs, but it'll scan universal LMBs, or it'll scan in the universal setting, but the only problem is it gets the frequency wrong because it has the wrong input frequency. So that was one flaw with the type of LMB that I happen to be using, which is a common LMB if you're using a Shaw Direct dish or any North American satellite dish. Now, when you get this, it won't be set up like this, so you do have to set it up for your typical settings of whatever the LMB that you're using. So with this version of OpenATV, just a heads up that the standard LMBs will work, but they won't do a blind scan. So hopefully they fix that in a software update at some point. Or red button to close. And I'm going to go out of that. So now you have your options of doing a blind scan or signal finder. So I'll go to signal finder, and here is where you get your SNR quality. And another thing, my love-hate relationship with the OpenATV, and I've talked about this in other videos of receivers that use the same operating system, is that the signal quality is in this menu here, which I just had to dig through all the options to actually get to it. So bear that in mind when you're setting this up. You can manually enter a transponder. I think this is wrong. So don't use these transponders as references. That's your main thing, is to set up. And then if you want to do a blind scan, you can set the frequencies where you want to start. So for example, in North America, I wouldn't need to enter this. I would just enter 11 because I don't know, that's pretty much where the frequencies start. There's no low band and vertical horizon. So when you do that, you make sure your band's set up right. Your blind scan will work a lot faster. And I'll do a quick blind scan of Galaxy 19. And as you can see, the channels are starting to scan in, where this system will have, it'll typically scan in the radio and the video channels. Now the radio channels, there's a lot of video channels on Galaxy 19, and you can actually just go through your whole list of the channels you've just scanned. Now, when you do a blind scan in this OpenATV, and you can see how pixelated some of these MPEG-2 channels are, you push the TV radio button, and it will go to the last scanned, and it'll bring up a list of the channels you just scanned. So there's all the channels that I just did a blind scan with on Galaxy 19. And so like I can switch it over to the shopping channel, I guess. There we go. And there's QVC. So another way to get your satellite is if you hit the TV radio button and you hit reception lists, and you can go to whether Galaxy 19, or I believe I got the dish parked on, I don't have it scanned in, 101 West. So let's do a scan of 101 West, I guess. Go to the setup, go to reception, first go to tuner configuration, and let's make sure that 101 West, which I'm pretty sure I have my dish parked on right now.
I use another receiver typically to watch a lot of the programming. So there I go. I got it all on C-band. Got my settings, so I'll go back into, whoops, wrong button. Now, one thing to be very careful of, don't buy this if you're not tech savvy. This receiver is, there's a lot going on with it. So I'll say blind scan. So we want to do a blind scan of 101 C-band, scan for channels. There's no C-band frequencies really that low, especially with a repack. So to make this quicker, I'll say go 3700 to 4200. I think that'll make it go quicker. Vertical, horizontal, and a scan. Hopefully, when I'm doing this, I won't be scanning in the wrong satellite, or the wind didn't blow the dish the wrong way. So the OCTAGON SF8008 uses the open ATV, which I've reviewed in other videos before, and I have a love-hate relationship with this this type of receiver because it does have some good pros, but it also has its cons. The pros is it's a very powerful receiver. You can do a lot of really cool things with it. You can use it to stream to any device on your home network, which I really love about the OpenATV. I love the web interface, and I'm able to use the Dream Droid phone app and watch streaming content over my local area network, over my Wi-Fi network. The cons about this is it is a lot harder to set up, this receiver, compared to an Amiko or a lot of the free-to-air receivers that are on the market for free satellite TV. So bear that in mind before buying this. If you're new, I don't necessarily recommend you buying this receiver out of the gate, but it is fun to play around with. It does have a lot of bells and whistles that a lot of receivers typically don't have.